can I ask, I read, I think it was GitHub survey, that 41% of code today is now generated by AI. What does the future of code look like, coming from code.org founder?
That's a really good question. The future of code and the past of code have all had this progressive, it gets easier and easier to code. When my dad started coding, it involved punching little holes in cardboard cards and putting those in a computer. And those holes represented zeros or ones. And then you could type the zeros or ones. And then you could type the machine, three letters for each machine code that goes directly onto the CPU. And now today you have languages that are more like the English language. We're getting closer and closer and closer to giving the computer instructions in a natural language, and then it figures out the underneath code. So every decade there's a leapfrog in terms of how much easier it is to code. So generative AI is going to make it possible to use much higher level commands than today's languages. And computer science education needs to adapt to that. It hasn't yet adapted to that. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't need to understand computer science. It means that the level at which you learn to code is going to be different. Just like if you were teaching coding in the 1970s, you would be teaching punching holes in a card and ones and zeros, and nobody uses that anymore. And we may be at a higher level. But understanding the code is still important. Think if you use generative AI to write an essay, you still need to read that essay. You don't just say, please write me a blog post and then, okay, it's done, ship it. You want to read it and confirm it's the thing that the AI did the thing that you wanted. And that's going to be true
clearly
for a while too.
You don't know Gen Zs today. I think they would just put down, say it's fine.
It's good to go.
Good to go. It's better than I would have done it, because I wouldn't have done it at all. So great, fantastic. We've spoken about kind of like the shaping of like children's minds and the next generation's minds. I think the worrying thing for me is actually the reshaping of existing minds in the workforce. I really do believe that, I think OpenAI today released an incredible new development, which is very exciting and very terrifying at the same time, I think. But like, when we think about reshaping existing workforces, how do you think about what needs to happen for the existing workforce to reshape their skills and actions to accommodate a very new economy and technology stack?
Well, before I answer your question, I want to say there's 1.5 billion students in our education system, and we are shaping their minds as we go. It's important to do what you call the reskilling of the workforce, which is another 3 billion people. But basically, the student force right now is roughly half the size of the workforce, and we are spending the money to educate them. Let's spend that money to educate them on the stuff they're going to need to know. In terms of reskilling the current workforce, it's hard to know what the jobs of the future are going to be, but what's very clear is that they're going to be increasingly digital, increasingly more creative. And so teaching creativity, problem solving, and digital skills, especially digital skills, is a must. And there's many efforts being done by the largest tech companies, by Microsoft, by Google, by Amazon, to spread basic digital skills. At the same time, I also think, automation isn't just going to destroy jobs, it's going to change jobs. There's jobs that we have shortages of that suddenly more people will be able to do. So there's a teacher shortage, there's a nursing shortage. Having more nurses, it would be great for everybody's healthcare. So some jobs will go away, which will mean people will be able to fill the jobs that we struggle to fill today.
Adam Smith's invisible hand, big believer in it. Totally with you.